Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sam and this is my YouTube channel Sewing Sam, a YouTube channel or FlossTube all about the world of cross stitching and a little bit of embroidery thrown in depending on what I'm working on. I swear I start every video off like this. I know it's been, I can't even remember the last time I did one. It must have been over, wow, what day are we? We're now August 2023 and my last one was over a year and a bit ago, I would say. So why the big delay, I hear you say? Well, last year I got married, so there's a lot of planning involved that took away some stitchy time and some filming time, and we also moved house, so that's also been a bit of a priority, shall we say. So this might be where you recognise maybe a different background to my previous videos, because I'm in a different place. I'm hoping the lighting's okay. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll see. And yeah, also work was crazy at the start of this year as well. So combining moving, sorting out post-moving, sorting out everything that we needed to sort out for the place, combined with work. I didn't really have a huge amount of stitching time, but now things are calming down a little bit. I've had more time to stitch and I thought I would say hi again, show my face, and yeah, maybe try and make this a bit more of a priority because life has calmed down, as I said, just a lot. So yeah, I thought I would do things a little bit differently today. I know I normally traditionally showed what I'd finished, what I was working on, any haul, and I decided today I would shake things up a little bit and do kind of a WIP parade. So we can see where I am, what stage I'm at, and then track the projects as we go. Sorry, I keep looking out the window because I'm convinced it's about to start storming. It's very dark out at the other side of the house. This side's now also getting very dark, and I'm not a fan of storms. So let's see how this one goes, shall we? So I hope you're all sitting very comfortably. So I paused that for a quick second. I had to get my refreshments for today. So I've got myself a nice little coffee with my favourite mug. Hold on. Cutest little penguin ever. Love him. Always reminds me of a good friend of mine because we went and bought them together on a lunch break a year and a bit ago when she was still living in the area. So yeah, that's a quick update on me. I hope that you've all been, sorry, I'm going for a very hippie artistry look today. I've noticed I've got a big white shirt on, got a bow, got my hair natural for once, not dried, so it's gone a bit curly, which is quite nice. Sorry, that's a bit of a side note. So I hope everything's been okay with all of you. I've missed doing this, I'm not going to lie. I've really missed the stitching. I noticed I got way more stressed out. I'm not anxious per se, but just I noticed something was missing from my life. So as I said, hopefully now, because I've got more time, I can dedicate more time to creating content for this, shall we say. And yeah, sorry, I keep scratching my head too because my hair's annoying me. So yes, as I said, I'm going to do things a little bit differently today and start on doing a WIP parade. So for those of you who don't know what a WIP parade is, I will show you all the pieces I've got in progress, so works in progress, WIP, and then we can see in maybe a year's time, have I finished anything, what's new. And what I thought I'd also do is I've got a couple of, just say, core pieces that I know I've mentioned in previous videos that I finished in the meantime, which I mean was good. And I thought I would just show you because some of them are big projects and some of them are projects you might be interested in, just to see how they look in comparison to how maybe we thought they looked, and so you can see the big picture and see what I managed to do. So I thought I would start with the WIP parade. I've got not too many, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cross stitch pieces and 1 not cross stitch, but still stitching related. So without further ado, I thought I would introduce you to the most recent WIP I've started. For those of you who know, I quite like the frosted pumpkin stitchery pieces, and again, those of you on Instagram, social media have probably seen they released a new stitch along for this year called Castle Homecoming, and of course I had to get it. I got the kit actually through, I know I started to write. I got the kit through Homemakery based in the UK because it was a quicker delivery, and my parents who live in the UK were able to bring it over when they came to visit, which was just before the sale starts, so that was perfect. Although I didn't start the sale until, I think, last month. I started really late because I had other projects on the go. But I'm going to show you where I'm at now. So here we go. So let me just let that focus a little bit. As you can see, I've done part 1, which was the unicorn and the knight and the herald here and a lot of the bunting banners. The second part was the bridge. Yeah, the bridge and Merlin here, and then these 2 flags. And part 3 I started literally yesterday, which is this little fella here, and you can start seeing here, which this is the start of what's going to be the dragon. I just zoom in a little bit closer so you can see. I won't lie, the bridge was very much a pain. Not the actual back stitching, which you can see here, but what was a pain was making sure you counted the right amount. I'm not gonna lie, I love this. It's been so much fun to stitch. It's the point where I'm really quite sad I'm slowly catching up. There's only 3 parts released so far. So once I finish the dragon, sorry, I've got to get used to my left and my right now. The dragon here, that's basically this part finished. But I think the new part comes out in a couple of days. So I'm filming on the 14th of August, and I think the new part comes out on the 17th. So I'm hoping, oh yeah, no, it's really storming, there's thunder and everything. Excellent. So I'm hoping that once I finish the dragon, I can then proceed with the next part straight away, and then I'm for once on top of a frosted pumpkin stitchery. Sal along, Sal is stitch along. I didn't mention that earlier, sorry. Yes, and my needle winder here, which is on the project 2, if it focuses, which I'm not sure it will. It's not fully focusing at all. Ah, there we go. Is the Positivity Rules one. So that's from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, from the Sal Positivity Rules, which I did in 2020, I think it was, it came out. So yeah, that's the first WIP I have in progress. So I'm really happy with how that's going. I'm thoroughly enjoying that. Now, you have to excuse a lot of wrestling because I've got a lot of my pieces now in project bags. So this is my first project bag, actually. I can show them off as I go, can't I? This is my first project bag, which was done by Lollipop Stitches, I think it is. I'm not sure of the actual name, and I'll put it in the comments below so you can have a look and link her Insta. But this WIP is from Cotton and Twine. So I've been a subscriber on and off for 2-3 years now, and this is actually from their box February 2022, and it's the Squirrel Visconu that was designed, guessed by Tiny Modernist. Let's see whether I can get a picture up of the Visconu without the pattern. Yeah, here you go. So that's what it will look like to the top, and this is what I have so far. So it's not a lot, as you can see. The little squirrel fella is, if it focuses, I swear it's how I spend most of my time. But yeah, not done too much, but it's a tiny little piece, so this is the top. So yeah, this is basically this guy here. As you can see, I've got quite a way to go. Although this bit stitched up quite quickly. And then obviously I've got the bottom side to do too, which is quite simple, and then somehow sew them together, which I think is going to be, for me, more tricky. But I quite like the idea of doing Visconus because I keep seeing quite a few people doing them on social media and the different FlossTubers, and I've always wanted to give it a go. And I'd already seen stuff by Little Dove Designs that I thought was quite nice, so I was kind of umming and ahhing for ages. And then when the box came out, when I was a subscriber anyway, I thought, oh, you know what, I'll just keep this going and I'll try and see whether how I get on with it. And I must admit, I love the squirrel. I think he's super cute, and I've always quite liked Tiny Modernist designs, so I'm hoping to get this one a bit more progressed, shall we say. Maybe I'll get a bit more done in the autumn, because to me there's more of an autumnal feel. The needle minder is from the Black Needle Society. It was one of the Gilmore boxes. I think it was the summer and spring, no, it wasn't autumn. It was either spring or summer. I think it was summer, because I think it was the one I got last year. I think it was that one. But it's, anyway, it's from one of the Black Black Needle Society boxes that I must admit I buy every so often when I see them on the vaults or see them on social media as being available. I'm not a subscriber to them just because for shipping and customs it's too expensive for me, but I do quite like them. Sorry, I'm just gonna rearrange my desk a minute so I can put everything down. So that was my next WIP. The next WIP is in, I love this bag. This is the Caterpillar cross stitch. I don't know whether they still have these. I must admit I'm so out of date, but I love these because you can keep, I'll show you, I've got all my flosses in here, there, along with a pair of scissors, 2 pairs of scissors, 3 pairs of scissors, interesting, 4 pairs of scissors. Oh, that's where all my scissors went. You can tell I'm not fully sorted yet for my house move, huh? Because I'm just finding weird stuff everywhere. This is my Mount Fuji. Oh yeah, and also you have a nice clear bit at the back where I keep my pattern. So I'm not going to do too much because I don't want people to see that. But this is my Mount Fuji WIP. Now this is something I have been working on for quite some time. And I do pick it up every now and again when I've got a bit more concentration time because, yeah, it's a concentration piece. But this is how it's looking so far. I'm very pleased with how this is going, but we've still got like this much left. It's going to be a big project. And that's without the beading because you can see, let's not drop it in my coffee. You can see all the clear spaces here. If it focuses, there we go. You can see all the clear spaces there. That's got beads, and I've got the beads in my bag, and that's going to be a pain, shall we say, to do. But I do like this piece. It's one of those ones I pick up every so often when I got time to concentrate, you know. So it's not like, it's not a during the week piece. It's definitely a weekend piece or what have you. I might put some more stitches in that this week actually. Yeah, because tomorrow's public holiday where I work, 15th of August, and because it falls on a Tuesday, I decided to take a day of holiday and just enjoy the freedom of having 2 days off where I can do what I want. My husband's not around because it's not a public holiday where I live, it's just where I work. So those of you who may or not be aware, I live in Germany, but the region of Germany I live in is, this day isn't a public holiday, but I work in Luxembourg, where this is a public holiday. So my life revolves around the Luxembourgish public holidays, and it's a public holiday in Luxembourg, so I've got a day off. So yes, that was Mount Fuji. It's been a piece that I've been working on for, I would say 3 years. Not gone very far with it, but as I said, it's going to be one of those pieces I can't wait to finish because I really want to get it properly framed and put up somewhere in the house. But for now, it's going to be a little while. My next piece is also in a beautiful Caterpillar project bag. I do like, in case you can't tell, I am quite a fan of Sally and everything Caterpillar related. And therefore it's fitting that this next piece is also Caterpillar. Let me just unfold it. So this is the British Isles Adventure Sound, which started in January this year. Yeah, January this year, I think. And I was doing really well with keeping up with them until the final part came out, and then I didn't. So this is the sound. Excuse the folds. So this is how it looks. So as you can see, we've got all of Ireland stitched up, all of England, and all of Wales. I loved Wales. Like, again, this might be new to me. I don't think I've really ever mentioned it. I studied in Cardiff. My forefathers are Welsh. My surname is also Welsh. So I kind of feel a bit of an affinity with Wales. I love the place, I love the people, and it is somewhere that, if I must admit, if I stayed in the UK, I probably would have wanted to live there. I do like it there. So I genuinely loved, I love the little dragon, I love the daffs, I love the rugby ball, I love the traditional dress. But what I also loved was the motif that Sally had put near where I come from. So I come from the southwest, North Wiltshire, and she put Stonehenge. And to be honest, if she hadn't put Stonehenge in place, I probably would have done another stone circle that's literally just on the road from where I live, Avebury, for those of you who might know, or I might have done one of the white horses that are all in the area. So it's like on the Chalk Hills, they carved out, I say they, people back in history, I don't know how old they are, whether it's, I don't think it's prehistoric, I think it's newer, but anyway, there's many white horses so horses carved out of the grass on the side of the hills and then filled in with chalk. And that's something that also reminds me of home. But because she put Stonehenge here, I left it because that to me is something I would equate with my region. So yeah, and I must admit I quite enjoyed stitching. That's Buckingham Palace there for London, and the London Eye. I haven't put all the islands in yet. I'm umming and ahhing whether to do that. I put the Isle of Man in up here, and of course the Isle of Wight down the bottom here. But I didn't do all the Channel Islands or the Scilly that were down here because I wasn't entirely happy with the placement. For me, I know it sounds really OCD, but I like everything. I wanted it to look as geographically accurate as possible. And I also got the needle minder, which I let the camera focus on. It's a cute little bust that says London, and also if I move the needle, it says 2023. Well, 23, not 2023. I thought it was super cute. And that was actually a Christmas present from family members. So that was a good Christmas present. But yeah, I still need to finish the last part. Well, I need to start the last part, let's be honest. Which comes up the top here, so top of Scotland. So you've got Nessie, I think there's an oil rig, and there's something else. But yeah, that's to be worked on, I think, once I finish my current progress on the Frosted Pumpkin Homecoming sale, because I'm trying to get caught on that, as I said. So now we're in Caterpillar. We're going to keep going with for a little while with Caterpillar. Again, so I'm pushing my push bags off. This was actually cotton and twine project from, I don't even know when it was, but it's a while ago. And now I've got to try and get into the bag. There we go. This was from the most recent Caterpillar social. So stitching social. I did my first one, I think it was at the start of the year, and I've now just done two, both times with Charlie, which has been super nice to see the same people every so often. I'll show you, I've done quite a lot on this one actually. So this is the Little Florists. It's on a nice pink Ada. It's not really showing up so great in this light, but I've done a lot of the white stitching too, and then I just fill a lot of stuff in, and then the roof, and I'm basically done, which I'm very pleased about. I also got the little corgi needle minder from Caterpillar. If it focuses, come on. There we go. He's super cute. I loved him so much. He was originally on the Coronation box, but I wasn't so much of a fan of the Coronation stuff. But as soon as I saw that I could switch out needle minders from socials, I switched that one for that one. Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, Caterpillar do these amazing online socials where you pay a certain amount and you get a nice little kit, some sweets, and an invite to a 2-hour stitching session with some of the hosts. So it's normally Sally takes part, Carla, Charlie, Mandy I think did one, I think that's everyone, I'm not entirely sure. But subscribe to their newsletter, sign up to their Facebook site, and you get sort of notified by this. And it's just a really nice way of spending 2 hours, whether you take part in the day sessions, which Charlie has done before, or you have an evening session. For me, the day ones work better, just because I can guarantee I'll be there. But it's a really nice way of spending time and stitching with people. They do a little quiz, but it's chit chat. You don't feel you have to talk if you don't want to, but it's just a nice little friendly setting, shall we say. And actually, as a result of this, the two ladies in my first stitching group that I took part in, and we sort of stayed in contact, we exchanged messages on Facebook, and we now have a little group of the 4 of us who, I say every Sunday, but if we're free on a Sunday, we meet up for an hour and we just stitch and chat. And it's genuinely, I love it because I don't have friends outside of sort of this bubble, shall we say. Like, I don't want to say real friends, but sort of people I know in real life, like I've met physically, who I can stitch and talk with. So I genuinely love this online community, and that I've met these lovely women, and sort of they're the people that I'll send pictures when I've done stuff, and vice versa, and we all sort of go, yay, well done, and I love it. So that's genuinely a beautiful thing that has come out of attending a social. I was really nervous about doing that, believe it or not, because I wasn't sure whether I would enjoy it, whether the people would be nice, etc., etc. But one thing I will say about the stitching community that I've noticed is that everyone's so lovely, everyone's so welcoming, everyone's so friendly, and definitely with Caterpillar. Like, Caterpillar is one of the most friendly places I've ever come across. I'm genuinely very pleased that it was like the first place I kind of used to learn how to stitch. So yeah, that's basically a little praise. Thank you, Sally, and thank you, crew, for putting together such a nice friendly place. It's really inviting and encouraging for new stitchers. So that's a bit of a tangent from me though. So now we're on to the next project, which is Piece of Cake. So this is from the first stitching social I took part in. It's in a project bag that's from Forbidden Fibre Co, which I got as part of her kit, which I haven't started the actual stitching pieces of. And you'll see what I mean when I say I've done a lot of the Little Florist and I haven't done so much on this. Yeah. I've just done literally the roof. No, is that the roof or is that the... I think that's inside the shop actually. Because I think that's the top of a cake. But this is what I was saying, how you get a needle minder every time, every time you take part in a social. You get these cute little needle minders, which if it's, yeah, it's focusing kinda. That says the stitching social. But obviously if you've already had one, you don't necessarily want the same thing again, do you? So if you've taken part in a social already, sorry, I'm moving some fluff off the project. If you've taken part in a social already and you don't want the same needle minder again because it'll give you the same, you can just put a message in your order and say, hey, can you swap out the needle minder for this needle minder? And they do it, which I think is so good. Which is why I got the corgi last time, because I got the stitching social this time, the time before. Okay, we're slowly getting through this, guys. It's cool. Guys, there's not thunder and lightning. So yes, the next piece. So yes, I said massive Caterpillar fan. Can only recommend them. They're brilliant. My next piece is again from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's in a nice little project bag, which I think is brilliant, that I got through Historical Sampler when I did which I think it must have been a sale, Christmas sale I think, previous year. I'm not that far through this project, I'll level with you, and it's one that I haven't really, had much time to do, but I'm hoping I'll get a bit more done on it. It's looking like this. So this is a quarter-ish, I would say, because the snowman, this little dude here in the middle, is the middle, and then there's another bit, I think a snowman will come down like here-ish. So it's not a big piece, so I'm hoping, because I did like this on the fabric, that I can then use some of this fabric that's left over for some small projects. The fabric itself I think is actually from Picture This Plus, and it's gingerbread, so I probably should have said what other fabric was, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be completely honest. That's a slight issue I have. But this was one of the first things I really ever touched with linen, and also with variegated flosses, because I know this looks white on the screen. I don't think if I zoom in it will really show too much, but it's got very light hints of green and blue, I think. So it adds like a nice little festive sparkle to it. The colour is actually, Weeks Dye Works, I think. But basically I'm doing all the colourful flosses for that piece. So whatever Frosted Pumpkin called for, that's what I've done. And my last cross-stitch whip, shall we say, is my wedding sampler, which I'll take this out. For those of you who know, I love everything Steph does at Lindy Stitches, and this is, I'm not taking it out because of a crinkle, but I've always loved this, and I've always wanted a reason to do this. So I did it as a wedding sampler for myself and my husband. Not that he really cares, it's more for me. And this is how far I've got so far. I've basically finished the bird and the bottom bit, and I've started sort of on some of the motifs at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure, because I think I've mismeasured the fabric, because I'm not sure, although it looks okay here, I'm not sure whether the whole border will fit. So when I say the whole border, I mean including these little bits down the side here. I'm not sure whether I'll get them done. The swirly bits definitely will fit, but I'm not sure whether the rest will fit. and be able to frame it nicely. So what I'm definitely doing is this bit, and then seeing, because it's more the top and the bottom I'm worried about. But now I look at it again, it might be just enough. I mean, we'll play it by ear, that'll be the last bit I do anyway, so I can always gauge it and see. But I'm loving this. I haven't picked it up in a while actually, I realised. So now I see it again, I'm kind of like, oh, I should do this one again. But I think I should set myself like little goals. So like, I need to finish this little motif here, I think, and then maybe try and finish like half of it, you know, sort of say, finish this half. Because I did the birds, and maybe finish all the motifs that go down the side here. So when I say that, I mean the flower and these bits here, and then maybe, because I started doing the bordery bit up the side, maybe do the bordery bit up here, and then across a bit, and then do the same along the bottom, and then switch the side, and then do this bit. I don't know. It's a labour of love, and I think it's one of those pieces that once I start stitching it again, I kind of just get in a flow with it. So I think once I've finished the British Isles psalm and I'm caught up with the frosted pumpkin, basically, I probably pick this up again and do a bit more on it. But as I said, yeah, we'll see. Sorry, I'm just putting this away. And this also is in a project bag that came from the Black Needle Society, that was in another Gilmore Girls one. This was definitely the summer. I think it's brilliant. It makes me smile whenever I see it. And now, excuse me, I'm just going to get the non-cross stitch related project that is actually something I think is brilliant. It's something that I saw originally through, so my cousin runs a craft subscription box called Cozy Craft Club. So I sort of follow her progress, see what she's doing, sorry. And she had this really nice needlework, blackwork needlework, yeah, in one of her month subscriptions. And I can't remember whether she gifted this to me for Christmas, whether my aunt gifted it to me for Christmas, or whether my parents gifted it to me one year for Christmas. But one of the three did it, because there are some people that will do this. And it's a gorgeous black work. So black work, if you don't know, is kind of like black back stitching, is the only way I can describe it. Yeah, so she gifted me this really nice, and I don't know whether I have a picture of it without the pattern, but I don't really want to show you the pattern because that's not cool. Okay, I don't have a picture without the pattern. I do-ish. So it's basically from Purple Rose Embroidery. And it's going to look like that when it's done, I think that's what I've gone for. And this is where I am so far. So as you can see, I've still got a lot to do. This is something, again, that I found more therapeutic than I thought I would. It's totally a different style of stitching. I mean, my back's not so pretty either. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and it came in a set. I'm trying to work out what all the colours are. Okay, it came in a set. So you got the hoop, the fabric, which is 18 count fader, which is the smallest I've ever stitched on. There was a needle minder too, but I don't know whether that was extra gifted by my family. I don't know. And some brilliant, basically all the materials you need. So you got the different threads that you need. On a nice little card. Super clear, and I'm not even being sarcastic, instructions as to how to do everything, which was perfect for a little beginner like me. Okay, yes, not beginner to cross stitch, but no idea how black worked until then. I'd admired it quite a lot, I must admit. I'd seen a lot of people doing it on social media, but I'd never tried it. And yeah, it takes a lot of concentration, I'm not gonna lie, because it was new and I wasn't totally sure how to do everything. But I'm not gonna lie, once you get into it, it's really therapeutic. Like, I'm quite happy with how this is looking, I think. I mean, considering it's a new thing for me, I'm very happy. And then obviously all of these bits in between get filled in. So I'm trying to do the whole outline, so we say first, and then fill in the middle bit. I don't know whether that's the best way of doing things, so if anyone has got any experience in black work, please let me know, because I'm really wanting to learn. And how do you learn best? By asking the questions, people offering you advice. So yeah, if any of you have done this before, and have any tips that maybe no, that's not the best way of doing things, like doing a little section at a time and then filling it in. I mean, I guess it depends on how it works for you, but I'm all ears. So I'm more than happy to hear how you do things. And I'm keeping this in project bag that's from Food & Fibre Co, I believe. So Gilmore Girls related again, which I think I definitely shown this before. So yeah, that's all the WIPs I have currently ongoing. So that was 30 minutes of WIPs, so well done everyone. If you're still here, kudos. I thought I would just round off today's little video by showing you a couple of pieces, as I said, that I know I mentioned in previous videos, so previous FlossTubes, that I have now finished, and I just want to show in case you're interested. Such things I'm really quite happy with how they've worked. So I think this is a nice way of finishing off, and then I'm able to talk about plans that I've got, although I've kind of been alluding to that throughout the video. Yeah, so this is the first piece that I've finished recently. And it's the Mandalorian, which was from Forbidden Fibre Co. It was a box, I think it's what they're called. I love this. Everyone who knows me knows I love Star Wars. I love everything related to Star Wars. So yeah, I've got this. I love how Grogu looks. Let's zoom in a bit on Grogu. Sorry, let's just love how Grogu's looking. And then obviously I loved the variegation on this. I don't know how I got it to work so well, but that is a floss that was, a lot of the flosses are dyed especially for these products, and you can buy them later I think from her shop. She always gives you the DMC substitutes that you can use, but obviously the bottom one was totally, I would say, randomly dyed, I guess, and there isn't a DMC substitute for obvious reasons, but I love how this looks. So once it gets framed and put it on the wall in basically the study area that I'm in. Well, we call it the den, but it's a study home office that is here. I also quite like, I don't think it's kind of showing up better in this light than it did in the old light. The dyeing on the fabric, so it's got some stands coloured theme, which makes sense if you think of Tatooine and everything. So yes, this is on a 14 count Ada, which is rare for me because I don't normally do 14 count. I normally do 16 count. Okay, I do 28 count even weave or linen, but I don't generally do Ada in 14. Next up, and I know I mentioned this I think in my last video because I went back through my notes, it was The Last of the Trees from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So for those of you who know Caterpillar Cross Stitch and Sally well, or have watched my channel or other people on YouTube, Sally has done a seasonal trees, can't get my words right today, for every season. So it's Hello Pumpkin for autumn, Hello Deer for winter, Hello Petal for, I think I might have the wrong one here, Hello Sunshine for summer. Hold on, I can tell you where they've got. Yes, and then Hello Petal for spring. And let me just pause this while I go get the correct one. Hold on. So yes, I was right. I had totally the wrong one in front of me. I had Hello Sunshine in front of me, when indeed I needed Hello Petal. So last time I had just started on Hello Petal, I think. I don't know how far I was, but I finished it, and this is how it looks. I won't lie, this wasn't my favourite of her trees. I love them all, but it just wasn't my favourite. My favourite is still Hello Pumpkin. But I just come in a little bit closer so you can see the little chick, little mouse, a rabbit, and then the little sheep down the bottom. I thought it was super cute. And then the little, Easter nest. So this is very Eastery, shall we say. So I need to get them framed. I've now very recently bought four frames that are all identical. with the plan, obviously, because I need to give this a good iron, because you can see it's been in storage. So yeah, I'm gonna iron this, frame it properly, maybe try and do that today or tomorrow actually, if I got time off, and do that. And my last piece I'm going to show you, I'm so proud of. It was my first major linen piece, shall we say. It's again from Busted Pumpkin. As I said at the start, I love their projects. This was the first sal I'd had ever really done by them, and I must admit I didn't start on time. I didn't catch up, but who cares? It's how you can do it at your own pace. It's just obviously how they release it. So this was the Christmas wreath. I love this piece so much. It started with the house, then you went down to the bow here, and then we worked our way around the wreath like this. I could be doing totally rubbish right now, I have no idea, I'm not really paying any attention. Until we got to the end. I loved, and this is going to sound so pathetic, but let me try and find a good bit of green to zoom in on by Father Christmas here. I just loved how when you stitched the green here, you can see you got a dark green, a mid green and a light green. How the effect just came together and it looked like it was actual plain all together. I thought that was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I was not a massive fan of the bow. Although it looks amazing, it was such a pain to stitch. That was, I think, the second part. Everything else was so much fun, but this just felt like it was never ending. And I know that they've now done the Halloween wreath, and they changed it up a little bit in that one, that they had half the bow, I think, in one part and half the bow in the other part, which I think is brilliant. I think that's such a good way of doing things. But yes, so my plan is to put this, to get some nice backing fabric that's sort of Christmassy and sort of like this kind of a colour. I don't know, sort of bright Christmas colour, shall we say, not sort of like dull muted Christmas tones, and try and make this into a cushion. I'm not entirely sure this is going to be done this year. It might be, who knows. I need to get the fabric first. Oh yeah, that's the back. It's probably the neatest back I've ever done. Not that I really care too much about the back. It's the front that matters, because that's what people see. So that shouldn't put anyone off. If your backs are messy, who cares? But then equally, if you want a clean back, again, it's your thing. Cross stitch is your thing. Do what you want. So yes, I've got quite a lot of stuff I need to finish off properly, but I don't enjoy that so much. I'm more of a start projects up, put them to one side type of girl. So yes, what are my plans for the next, we'll say next month. We'll try and check in by the end of September. This will be the August video. That gives me 6 weeks. That should be fine, right? Especially now the weather has been so atrocious recently that all I have done at the weekend sometimes, if I've had time, is sitting inside and stitching, which you shouldn't be doing in August, but here we go. So my plans for the next month, we'll say, and we'll try and make this a bit more religious. And feel free to hound me on Instagram if I haven't done a video. Check in, say, hey, when's the next video coming? Because I enjoy not the pressure, but I feel like if I say to people I'm going to do something, I'm more likely to do it. So yes, next month I want to keep up to date where possible with the Frosted Pumpkin Homecoming sale. Finish Hello, no not Hello, oh my god, my brain's gone back to Caterpillar, but long back to Caterpillar. Finish the British Owl Sound, and I also think I want to try and make a start on the most recent Cotton and Twine books, because I just subscribed again to them because they had a beautiful design from Little Dove Designs, who I really quite like. She was a guest designer this month or last month, I don't know, recently. So I subscribed again, and I want to try and maybe make a start on that, if not finish that. But we'll see. I'm finding I'm getting a bit more into my rhythm for stitching again, especially in the evening, which is quite nice. So I'm hoping I'll find a bit more time for this. Otherwise, if you're not following me already on Instagram, if you're on Instagram, please feel free to do so. Go and join me. The name is Sewing Sam. I'll put the link, or the name definitely down below. Feel free to come and follow. I'm definitely more active there than I am on YouTube. Although not as active as I would like to be, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to connect a bit more with people again. So yeah, they're definitely, you'll see more progress. I'm just starting to venture into the world of reels. I know that sounds really quite pathetic, considering this is like not the new thing, but making my own reels. So if I get unboxings, I'll probably be doing unbox reels of showing you what's in stuff I'm getting, just so you can maybe think, oh, that's something I want to be part of, that's something I don't want to be part of. So yes, that was it. Thank you for sitting with me for the last 40 minutes. Yeah, try and do it again soon. And yeah, for the meantime, enjoy your stitching. Let me know what you're stitching down below in the comments box. Maybe we're stitching the same things. Maybe there's something you can enable me with. Maybe I've enabled you to do something. So yes. In the meantime, stay safe, and it was nice catching up with you all. Till next time. Bye.